Hello everybody, and thank you for coming along to watch our Waifu of Light tackle the final trial of Shadowbringers, the Dying Gasp. I'm not making any attempt to hide anything in this fight as far as spoilers go, hence why it's in the title of the video, so proceed at your own risk. We are treated to the epic song We Fall during the first phase of this thing. Definitely an awesome track to cap off this last battle. Second half is pretty epic as well, so let's get to it, shall we? Ravenous Assault is a tank buster, so be sure to mitigate. Bad Faith will summon 2 sets of arrows that will fire off in whatever direction they're facing. This leaves 2 quadrants of the arena safe, so just be sure you aren't standing in front of either set of arrows. Double will double the boss's next attack. Dark Eruption will mark random players with an AoE circle and spawn numerous ground AoEs to dodge while trying to place your own AoE marker without hitting other players. Broken Faith will spawn several pools on the ground. As the fight continues, large glowing discs will fall to the ground on top of one of these pools and explode for large AoE damage. Just don't stand next to one and you'll be fine. Shadow Spread sends out a bunch of cone AoEs, but the safe spaces are pretty easy to find. These mechanics continue to repeat until the boss gets down to about 10% HP. At that point, he'll drop out of the fight and summon a bunch of adds for you to deal with. Just have the tanks group them all together and burn them down. Make sure you get this all done before Fervor of the Ancients reaches 100%. Keep an eye out for when you get tagged with an AoE marker, as well as the occasional split damage marker. Line AoEs will also begin to pop up as well, and many of these attacks will start to overlap, so stay observant. Once the adds are gone, Ancient Dark 4 will hit everyone for heavy damage before moving into Phase 2. If Fervor of the Ancients was still below 100, you'll survive. Limit Break Gauge resets here too, so if you need to use LB3 during the previous ad phase, feel free. Probably a good idea anyway. In Phase 2, Hades decides to pull up Power Rangers and get even bigger. Titanomachy will hit all players for damage. Shadow Stream is a front-facing blast that will hit the center of the arena. Dual Strike is a tank buster that will hit both tanks, so be sure to use your cooldowns. Echo of the Lost will see Hades raise one arm and swipe across the arena. Get behind his arm or you're gonna get wrecked. Polydegmon's Purgation is basically the opposite of Shadow Strike. In this case, the center 1/3 of the arena is safe and the outside 2/3 are not, so just get in the middle. During Hellborn Yawp, Hades will mark the tanks and send out large cone AoEs towards the tanks. The tanks need to get to the outside edges of the arena to create a safe space in between them. If memory serves, Sephiroth had a similar mechanic, so if you did that raid, you should be able to recognize this mechanic pretty easily. Captivity will mark 2 players with an AoE circle. Don't get caught inside this blast as it will pull you into Ethereal Jail. The rest of the party will need to break these people out like a standard jail attack from any other boss. Otherwise, they will die to Chorus of the Lost. Pretty easy so long as everyone does their job. Players will also be targeted with AoE markers, so nothing new here. Hades will also spawn 5 glowing circles on the ground and change the color of the floor. Congratulations! Everyone now has Doom on them. To get rid of it, every circle needs to have at least one player stand inside of it. Wall of the Lost is a simple knockback attack that can either appear in the center or on the edges. If it's in the center, stick near the center. If it's in the edge, stand next to the edge where the attack is going to begin to avoid getting knocked off the edge. At 25%, there will be an ATE called Life in Captivity, so be sure to mash that button until it says success. Kinda like what you had to do with Shinryu during the end of his first phase. Afterward, Hades will continually cast the Dark Devours, which will need to be healed through. Hades will finally begin to cast Black Cauldron, and at this point you have a bleeding debuff and hopefully not much of the boss's HP left to burn through. So use LB3 and help finish him off before he finishes Black Cauldron and you're done. Alright guys, that's it for the Dying Gasp. Enjoy the ending and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Shadowbringers and FF14 content. I'll be getting to the post-game dungeons pretty soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. See you next time.